Wow, that was a great conversation with Phil Herndon. I learned a ton from him. 3 things that jumped out at me. First, when I had asked Phil how he sort of modeled or pointed his family to Jesus, just on an ongoing basis, he shared just trying to model the neediness that Christ had while here on earth for the Father. So as you read through the Gospels, time after time, Jesus is dependent upon the Father for everything. And if Jesus was dependent, how much more are we dependent? So just modeling that neediness of God just in everyday life was the first thing that jumped out. The second thing was just this understanding my own limitations. So I don't like the fact that I have limitations, and yet my limitations are numerous. And they are with everybody. But especially for guys, we don't like that. We don't like having to be needy. We don't like having to ask for help. And yet, when we do that, it allows God to work in us. So that's the second thing. And the last thing, I had asked Phil, as a guy, now for you ladies, I think this applies as well, but I was just speaking for guys, so I think for both men and women this works. How do I find some guys who can come around me and who we can do life together? How do I find those close guys? And he said, look for what it is that you want. Find a person who has what you want, and then go ask. Find somebody who has the relationships that you want, who's living after Christ in the way you want to live, and go ask them for help. That requires humility. That requires stepping out. But man, the Lord can work through that. So it's really challenged that way. So right now, wherever you're at, pause the podcast, pull over in your car, ask yourself, what one action item is God calling you today to take based on this podcast? What one thing? What next right step? So just pause for a moment, ask yourself that, write it down, tell somebody about it, and begin doing it.